All right, 93.9 WKYS, Jackie Paige, and hanging out in the Girl Talk hot seats today are Miss Candiace Dillard and DJ Tryfe.
Hey.
I absolutely love that name.
I mean, if it ain't Tryfe, it ain't right.
Come on. Okay, that's the whole entire slogan in and of itself. Before we get into this amazing event that you have coming up, can you tell me exactly where Tryfe, the name Tryfe, came from?
It actually came from college.
Okay.
When we were in the gospel choir together at Howard, and people started like, "You're so trifling, like you're so trifling." I'm like, "Well, put some respect on my name and call me Mr. Tryfe." And so my Instagram handle at the time was Mr. Tryfe, and then when I started DJing, it just felt organic.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's kind of reminiscent of my style of DJing. So yeah, it's a little ignorant at times.
Is.
Yeah.
Look, it's ratchetry at its
It's what the
finest.
people
It's
want.
good ratchetry.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So again, Candiace Dillard and DJ Tryfe in the studio with me right now, and you guys both are about to participate, are about to host an amazing event. DJ Tryfe, it's your birthday event.
Yes,
so can you guys give me some more details on this birthday event with the twist?
Sure. So
Party with a purpose.
Party with a purpose. Yes. Just to kind of wrap it up, I struggle with mental illness. I still do. And it's something that I want to bring to the forefront. Mental illness in the Black community is kind of a taboo. If you have issues, it's like, oh, you can't get help. We can pray about it. But if you go seek therapy, or if you talk to a doctor or take meds, you're like super crazy. So my aim or goal with the Viribus ball is to bring awareness and to just make it okay to seek help. And I told myself that at one point I would say if I made it to 30, and now I speak when it's for like a week or two
we're
away.
here. In the name of Jesus,
when I made it here, I would give back. And so I'm donating my birthday to the cause, thus the Viribus ball. And Viribus stands for strength in Latin. So it's the strength ball, and it's about showing the strength of Black men and being able to get help, and that it's okay with that, and normalizing all of those things and basically starting the conversation.
Candiace, why did you decide? I mean, you're into music, you have the Real Housewives, and so much more. Why did you decide to get involved with this, with the Viribus ball?
Well, I come from a home where mental health was normalized. My mother is a mental health professional. So I grew up sitting at a table where, we're talking openly about our thoughts and our feelings, and we're being, sort of diagnosed. Well, let's work on these things. You're having a moment now. Let's work on this moment that you're having right now. And when I left home and I got to Howard, and I met Calvin very early, through the Howard Gospel Choir. Oh my God, many years, darling. And just leaving home in general, just seeing and realizing how not normalized the conversation around mental health, especially in the Black community, and even in my own family. Like Calvin was saying, it's we're gonna pray about it, or you're weak, or don't be soft, just suck it up. And especially for our Black men, I have a Black brother, I have a Black stepfather, a Black father, Black nephews, Black cousins, and just even with them, and I'm from the South, as is Calvin, and especially in the South, there's just this stigma attached to receiving help or speaking at all about what you're going through. If you're not okay, that's frowned upon. And so the Viribus ball as a whole is just an idea to put those thoughts and feelings on the table and to celebrate and normalize not being okay sometimes, and that being okay. Have that be okay.
I mean, to be honest, Candiace was around when I first started struggling, or recognizing that I was struggling. I didn't know it. She did from her family's work while we were in college, and she was one of the people who suggested to me that I go get help. Yes. So, she's been with me on this struggle for a very long time, and when we got ready to do this event, it only made sense. And we've been a part of each other's lives. I was on the show for your wedding.
He DJ'd my wedding.
Your engagement party.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And then two, I think it's important to, while we're talking about mental health and the crisis that is mental health, bringing awareness and attention to resources that can help people. Because yes, identifying that first step of, okay, maybe I should talk to someone. Who do I talk to? And I think for me, as a member of the Black community, understanding and realizing that there is sort of a shortage of resources as it relates to seeing therapists that look like me and that understand my perspective and my culture. The cultural competency is what I was calling it. Do you understand? Can I look at you and talk to you and say that you understand my walk and, looking the way that I look, and especially for Black men, looking the way that Black men look and the way that Black men are villainized in our country? Can you walk into a counseling office and feel safe talking to someone who doesn't look like you about whatever you're going through, whether it be big or small? So talking through, how do you find a therapist, how to interview a therapist. I am currently interviewing therapists, and I think it's important to put that out there and to be able to say it's important to, read your therapist and know that you're going to be able to come back to this person next week, and you're going to want to talk to them. You're going to want to be open and share, because if you're not being 2,000% honest, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
And another aim that we're really looking to do with the Viribus Ball is to be able to send out a list of Black therapists in the area to all the attendees, and so they can disseminate that information out. Finding a Black therapist is difficult. Like I believe that white people can serve as great therapists to us, but I don't want to have to tell my white therapist about the Black experience,
And that's real.
right on top of the experience in my head. Those are a lot of hurdles that I have to get through just to start our actual session. So if we can kind of get a network together or work with other people who already have a network to disseminate that information out, so that all of us together can all get the help we need by people we trust that look like us. Like if I sit down as a Black woman and say, someone at work came and touched my hair and that was traumatic to me, most likely a white therapist would not understand that plight.
Why is that traumatic?
Exactly.
So both of you have had very close personal dealings with mental issues, mental illness. If somebody is listening right now and they're dealing with a mental illness right now, and they're wondering what that next step should be or what they should do, what is a bit of advice that you would give to that person so that they don't do something that they shouldn't do?
I'll say this. Exactly 1 year ago, I was going through one of my worst depression stints ever. It was 2 weeks. I had not left my house. I had not showered. I wouldn't even answer the phone. And to be a year later sitting on a platform talking about promoting a gala is a big deal. And so if you are going through that, I want to remind you that when you pass, if you are getting to the point where you feel like you're going to take your life, you are actually just passing on your trauma. You're not ending your trauma. You're passing that trauma to your mother, to your friends, to your family, because now they have to deal with the trauma of losing a wonderful, beautiful human. So think about that before you get ready to go down that path. The second thing I want to say is your friends and your network is your first line of defense. When people decide to be your friend, they decide to be your friend through the good and the bad. They decide to be your friend when you're sad and when you're not. So don't feel bad or burdened for reaching out to them. And the last thing I would say, there are suicide hotlines. There are hotlines to call if you have those type of thoughts or you just need some help. But my friends were Googling for me. They were Googling Black therapists in the area, and they were Googling therapists that did virtual sessions. So those three little tidbits, I think, can really help. But my biggest thing is, remember, you're not ending trauma, you're just passing it on, and we want to break that cycle.
And then I'm an idealist. From an ideological perspective, I think that you have to accept that it's okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and not be afraid to face that. I think that's really the first step, is accepting, okay, oh crap, I'm dealing with some stuff, some inner turmoil, and I'm not able to grapple with it within myself. Who can I talk to? And it's great to talk to friends. It's great to have, two of my best friends, I call them my therapists.
Yeah.
Because, I can call them and say, girl, or I use, not girl, but,
I mean, but
the B word. Girl, let me tell you what's going on. And you can talk through that with them.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like going to a licensed, educated professional who has literally gone to school to be able to help you, to diagnose you if it gets to that, and being okay if it's time for medication. And not, there's a lot of stigma around abuse of medications, and that's a different conversation, but it's okay if you need to be on an antidepressant for a moment.
Yeah.
I've had to be on antidepressants.
I have
to be on
too.
anxiety medication for a stint because of the trials and the tribulations of what's happening in life. And the idea is I'm using this to get me over this hump. And once I'm over this hump, I'm employing these other bullet points, these other ideas that I'm working through with my therapist so that I don't need to rely on abusing medication. But it's okay to talk about that. And again, as a member of the Black community, I think that stigma that's attached to needing medication or needing to talk to a psychiatrist or a therapist, we have to knock those walls down because there's a mental health crisis in our Black communities.
It is.
It's not being discussed.
It's
and
definitely
that's the
something
whole point of the Viribus
we
Ball.
like to, and I'm from the South as well, North Carolina. It's something we like to sweep under the rug.
Oh, yes.
We like to, it's just pray about it. Oh, you'll be okay tomorrow.
Yeah.
And no, it's not something that will happen tomorrow. I need some help. And like you both said, it's okay to get the help and be okay with being open and real with what you're going through and how you're going through it. It's moments and situations that you're going through that on the other side, like both of you, that make other people stronger.
It liberates other people.
You guys are taking what you've gone through and you're using it for a bigger cause for other people. The Viribus Ball. Trying to bring awareness to mental illness. So speaking of the Viribus Ball, when is it going down? Where is it happening at? Where can people get tickets?
What's the theme?
Okay, well, let's start there. So the Viribus Ball is happening January 19th at the Highland Community Center, and is that called the Community Center, Community Hall? It's an old theater, and we hired this full production team to come in, tear out everything, and they've spent so much money transforming this space into a beautiful gala. We wanted to do it in Southeast. We looked at like La Vie and all these expensive venues and gala places, but we wanted it to be in like our community, and we wanted to prove that you can do an upscale event anywhere. My favorite thing is the theme, since the Viribus Ball is a Met Gala inspired event.
I love it.
Every year there will be a different theme. So the inaugural, because it's the first, not the first annual, the inaugural theme is sequins, velvet, feathers, and or fur. So you can either do black tie or you can come in sequins, you can come in velvet, you can be Auntie Billy Porter, and you could wear all of them.
Listen,
I approve that message.
yes.
It's about making the cause fun and making, you can come in with your fashions or whatever and still talk about going through last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that you made it here to the Viribus Ball.
To the Viribus Ball. So if you want to get tickets, you can search Eventbrite for Viribus Ball. You can go to theviribusball.org, and the link to both to the tickets are on both of our Instagrams. Mine is at DJ TRYFE, DJ Tryfe, and
I am at Candigal09, CANDEEGAL09.
Yes, so we are real people going through real things, and we are going to have this real event.
Look, and it needs to happen. It needs to happen. It's got to happen. So, Candiace, I know you get into music a little bit. Will you be singing at all at the ball?
He may pass the mic over.
We just chatted about this at lunch.
Yes, so I did. Well, I'm releasing in about a week a remix to my ballad, I See You. We're doing a little go-go remix.
It's so good.
As an ode to D.C., the place that raised me, the city that raised me. I'm from Atlanta, but D.C. raised me. I'm a D.C.-raised girl. And it's a love song to D.C. And with the go-go remix, it's produced by Chucky Thompson. Big G from Backyard Band is featured on it. Uno, who's also... he's from everywhere, is featured on it as well. And it'll be played for sure at the Viribus Ball. They may pass the mic and I'll do, two notes. Two little notes.
Well, she's booked. She's doing an amazing thing, but I don't know if we have the budget to do a performance.
My performance fee. No, just kidding.
You can do a walkthrough.
She's going to give us I See You.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
That's right. That's about it. That's all I'll give you.
That's it.
Yes.
So if Candiace might hit the mic, DJ Tryfe, are you going to DJ at all? I gotta ask the questions that the people want to know.
I mean, a DJ is always prepared.
Yes.
I always got the MacBook in my bag.
He's gonna get on the mic.
However,
the night will not end.
We have two other DJs. DJ Kenneth Kyrell, who's based out of New York. He did was it not Comic-Con, Culture Con in New York, and then one of DC's favorites, Farrah Fawcett. She does Throwing Shade on Thursdays. Is it Capo? Backdoor on Thursdays on U Street. So she's great. She's also at POV. Was that on the W? Yes. She's known for like the red hair, but she switches it up every now and then. Exactly. Yes. So they are the actual, booked DJs. But it is.
Tryfe will get on the mic.
Just like you're gonna be on the mic too.
She's gonna bring my MacBook and I'm gonna bring her a mic.
I'll have a bar perhaps for the people.
A bar or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just say personally, I think the people will definitely expect and want a little bit of Candiace and DJ Tryfe.
The question is, will you be there? That's what we need to find out.
I'm always here for a a good ball, a good gala, a good fur, a good
gala
sequence.
moment.
Come on now. So,
yes, come through.
okay.
I wish the people could see what you are doing.
All of the pomp that is happening right now.
Her dress, okay.
Okay, so let's take a deal. If you show up, we'll show up.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Boom.
down for that.
I'll give you 2 bars if you show up.
And I'll
can I
give
get
you
3?
2 tracks.
I'll give you a chorus.
Well, we get a
Ooh,
chorus.
yes.
Now you gotta go.
I'll give
now
you a
gotta
chorus.
come.
Okay, so now I got to find a dress.
Yes, girl.
You got just
I
enough
may
time.
have something. I may have
Well, I've been
something in the
suggesting to people,
closet.
I'm like, listen, if you go to ASOS or Zara, somebody might
Come
have
on.
your piece on, but
Come
you
on.
can get you a something that's regular and basic and pump on down to Miss Joanne's fabrics and add you a little extra. You know what I'm saying?
Come
Like,
on.
make it yours. That's what you need. That has been your notice and opportunity to slay.
That was a whole ministry right there. I need you to understand that.
I'm just here to help the people.
I have Candiace Dillard and DJ Tryfe in the studio with me right now. We're talking about the Viribus Ball. One more time, give people the details, when, where, and how they can get tickets on this amazing event.
It will be Sunday, January 19th at 8 p.m. in the sunny south side of DC. Yes. And you can go to the viribusball.org. You can Google it. You can go to Eventbrite and type in Viribus Ball. And you can go to our Instagrams at DJ Tryfe with a Y, not an I, or
CandyGal09 on Insta. And we didn't talk about where the proceeds are going.
Oh my gosh, we did not.
Oh, yeah.
So we decided, we do a couple of fundraisers a year, and every fundraiser we pick a different organization or charity to give our money to. We feel like we shouldn't reinvent the wheel, and every time we want to give to an organization or support a cause, we shouldn't start a new foundation.
Right.
That's just foolish.
Right.
But this one is very near and dear to us because it is our Howard sister. She's an Howard alum. She is from Southeast DC.
Yes.
She also has a foundation called the Boris P. Henson Foundation that is in honor of her father who struggled with mental health, and she focuses already on awareness for Black men. So if you are smart or don't live under a rock, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And that is the lovely Taraji P. Henson.
Legendary.
The living legend.
I know. And I always forget to bring up that's who we're giving the money to because I love Taraji, and I don't ever want her to think that we're trying to use her name to build this event. The cause in itself will do that.
Yeah.
But if we make a nice substantial amount of money,
Which you will.
which we will, when we will, all 100% of the proceeds will go to her foundation. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see what they are planning on doing. I think she was just speaking with, I forget what publication she was in, but she was just chatting about her organization and what she's doing. So you can go to the Boris P. Henson Foundation website if you want to see the work that they're doing and where your funds will be going.
I love it. I love it. Candiace, DJ Tryfe, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's 93.9 WKYS.